What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports Dude Hines Show. The AFC and NFC championship games for today, and there were some great games going on between the Chiefs and the Bills and the Buccaneers and the Packers. And today is Sunday, which means it's my weekly Bengals 7-round mock draft. And instead of doing one, I'm going to be doing two this week. So I'm looking forward to that. And instead of kind of doing these, predetermined, already doing my mock drafts. Before I'm on here, I want to do these live, so we can do these by pick. So like I said, I'm live on YouTube right now, and I want to go live by each pick. I want to do two Bengals 7-round mock drafts. So we will go ahead and get started here. So as you can see, Trevor Lawrence went number 1 to the Jaguars. Jamar Chase 2 to the Jets. Penei Sewell went to 3 to the Dolphins, which is kind of surprising. Zach Wilson 4 to the Falcons. And here, I've not done any trades in my Bengals mock draft so far. And to me, I might actually do this trade. I mean, Jalen Waddle is still available, Devontae Smith, and Kyle Pitts. 3 really good receivers. And, Pitts is tight end, but he plays like a receiver. And we would just trade one pick back with the Eagles. We would swap picks. And they would give us our 3rd-round pick. And to me, I might actually do this trade. Yeah, I'm probably going to do this trade. So we'll do that trade. They got Devontae Smith. So see some other trade offers we have here. I'm not going to be doing that one. No to that. No to that. And no to that. So we'll just reject these. Real quick here. So, pick number 6. Justin Fields is still available. There's a quarterback needed team, and we were in this type of situation, which I really that we would be. I wouldn't be surprised if there's teams, we just sold our offer here. We got a couple. We got a 1st-round pick for next year, and we swap picks. I wouldn't be against doing that, but to me, I really don't want to drop out of the top 10 if possible. Jalen Waddle, he was really, really good up until he got injured, and Kyle Pitts. I'm a really big fan of Pitts. Honestly, I might like Pitts more than Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith. We did get that 3rd-round pick. So if we wanted to take a wide receiver or an offensive lineman, we can maybe take one with our 2nd-round picks. And now we have 2 thirds. This might be kind of a little bit surprising here. But instead of taking Jalen Waddle or maybe even Rashawn Slater, the tackle from Northwestern, I'm going to go with Kyle Pitts, the tight end from Florida. I really, really like Pitts. To me, he's like a Kettle or a Travis Kelce. And, people talk about Penei Sewell being a generational tackle. I think the same thing could be said for Kyle Pitts for being a generational type tight end. So trade offer here, we go back 4 spots and get an extra 4th-round pick. I'm not going to do that one. We go back 1 spot. I believe that's a 4th-round pick. We'll hold off on that one. So we'll see here. This is the top. The 2nd player, Wyatt Davis. If he's there, I wouldn't mind him. Some wide receivers, Terrence Marshall, Rondell Moore. Brevin Jordan is the top tight end. I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe look at him in the 3rd round. Some of the top defensive players, Asante Samuel is the top corner from Florida State. Jalen Phillips, I'm a big fan of Phillips. I also like Quincy Roche, another Hurricane edge rusher, possible in the later rounds as well. Like I said, Sam, some of the other corners, like the Georgia corners, were already picked. Safety, we really don't need a safety. And, to me, since we didn't go offensive line in the 1st round, I think we might go Wyatt Davis here in the 2nd round. I think that's a really nice pick. It really is. I know he's the 2nd best player available, but to me, that's best player available. We're picking 38th, and he is 36th on the Pro Football Network Big Board. So we'll take offensive guard Wyatt Davis from Ohio State. I really like that pick. That's a really nice addition to the offensive line. We need some help at the offensive line desperately. We don't really have that one really nice guy there. And I think guard's a more important position than right tackle. I know that might be kind of surprising, but, Bobby Hart, he sucks, but he doesn't suck as bad as people think he does. So we have our trade offer here. We go back forward. We got a 7th round pick next year, which absolutely that's pretty much laughable. It's just really stupid. And go back to we get their 4th next year, and we trade our 5th. I'm not going to be doing that either. So we will reject that one. Let's see here. Dylan Moses. I know it might sound kind of crazy. I know we have Jermaine Pratt right now, and Akeem Davis-Gaither, whom I'm a really big fan of. I think he's going to do really, really well for us. Logan Wilson, Marcus Bailey, Davis-Gaither, Wilson, and Bailey were all 3 rookies last year. Pratt was rookie the year prior. Moses here to me is really intriguing. I know like I said, we don't really need linebacker, but the way teams win, they win by best player available, and Dylan Moses is the 2nd best player available. I know there's Creed Humphrey, but we really don't need him because we have Trey Hopkins. Although, we may think about it considering that Trey Hopkins is coming off a season-ending injury. But to me, if Dylan Moses is there in the 3rd round, I know it's not a need, but you draft BPA in these type of situations. I'm going to go Dylan Moses here, linebacker of Alabama. And for instance, you look in the 3rd round. Oh, we have another pick here. Before I pick here, for instance, in the 3rd round last year, we took Logan Wilson. That was best player available. And I really, really wanted Akeem Davis-Gaither. In the 4th round, I did not think we were going to get him because, we already took a linebacker in the previous round. But we did a very, very good decision, and we took Akeem Davis-Gaither because he was the best player available. I know you may have, good players at a certain position, but there's times you may go ahead and get it because you might not need that player right now, but you'll need him in the future. So we actually pick again here. So let's see here. Maybe some wide receivers, if any of them are available. Tylan Wallace, very good receiver from Oklahoma State. Elijah Moore, Amari Rogers, Tutu Atwell. And, Atwell, I've seen him maybe around the 90s, best power rankings, like Big Board. And, Daniel Jeremiah, I believe Jeremiah had him in his 1st round, which is just absolutely crazy because I did not think some people would view him that highly. So we go to the defense. Here's any top players available. I'm not going to be taking edge here, but I really like Jordan Smith. I like Quincy Roche and Shakatoni from Penn State. So in the next round, don't be surprised if we possibly take edge. DJ Daniel, the corner from Georgia, I like him a lot. And Ambry Thomas, I really like him. Possible next round pick too. 2019, Ambry Thomas was the number 1 rated corner according to Pro Football Focus in the Big Ten. And that's very, very, you got to be really good for that to happen, especially, and during that time, Jeffrey Okudah was still with Ohio State. So he was rated higher than the 3rd pick last year in Jeffrey Okudah. So maybe Thomas there in the next round. He didn't play last year this past season due to the coronavirus. And, now how I've been talking about best player available, I'm going to go Creed Humphrey. I know that might not be a super smart decision, but like I said, you may not need that player right now, but you may need him in the future, especially with Trey Hopkins coming off a season-ending injury. We would save money by that move, maybe some money we can get, sign somebody like Tooney, which is unlikely. Brandon Sheriff, the guard from Washington. So here we have Nico Collins, Hunter Long, some of those guys. We didn't really need a running back in this round, but I wouldn't mind one maybe in the 5th or 6th. Marquez Stevenson, I like him a lot. Let's see here. Brady Christensen, he's an intriguing prospect. He was rated top 20 according to Pro Football Focus and Players of the Year, but he's 113 in their big board. Potential good sleeper in the later rounds. I like Peyton Turner a lot too. It's crap. Marvin Wilson is already gone. I was really hoping we could maybe get him. Wow. Most of the corners are already gone here. Tony Fields, I like him too. Kind of upset we didn't get any offers here because I really don't know what to do. And I like Stevenson, but Jalen Darden, you're going to be hearing that name a lot, like literally. Nearly every single episode I do a mock draft, you're going to be hearing Jalen Darden's name, the wide receiver from North Texas. You know how some people say, "Oh, those are my guys," or "Here's the list of my guys." In the draft, Jalen Darden is one of my guys in the draft. I'm a big fan of him. Reminds me a lot of Tyreek Hill. Let's see here. You know, Marquez Stevenson, like I mentioned, he reminds me a little like Darden, but I don't really think it'd be smart to get him here. Who we drafted here? Kyle Pitts, White Davis, Dylan Moses, and Creed Humphrey. So we've got a center, a guard, maybe a tackle. I'm kind of thinking about it between Early and Christensen. In a way, I mean, I kind of do want to trade back, but trading back on here is really difficult because I would want to trade back for Peyton Turner or Shaka Toney because, I mean, that's a 2 and 3 when it comes to edge, and I don't think one of those players is going to be available. I mean, I really want to take one of those guys. It is a reach. Like, I don't know. I'm going to take Peyton Turner here in the 4th round. I know that's a reach. I really don't think he's going to be available. And to me, it's really difficult to trade on here. So I'll take edge rusher from Houston, Peyton Turner. To me, I like that pick. I know we could have got probably a better player. But, you know, of course, Shaka Toney's still available. After we just picked up Turner from Houston. You know, Turner averaged over a tackle for loss in each game he played this past season with the Houston Cougars. Really under the radar prospect. I also like Darius Stills, a defensive tackle from West Virginia, in the next round as well. Let's see here. An intriguing corner to watch in the later rounds is Robert Rochelle, the corner from Central Arkansas. You know, he has 10 career interceptions. He's been invited to the Pro Bowl. When you get invited, the Senior Bowl. I can't talk today. The Senior Bowl. I mean, when you get invited to the Senior Bowl and you're playing at Central Arkansas, I mean, it kind of proves how good you got to be when, you know, you're being recognized. You know, top players and top colleges play in the Senior Bowl, and you're from freaking Central Arkansas. You're going to have the chance of playing that. Let's see here. You know, Jarrett Patterson, really like him. Kylan Hill. Like I said, I cannot freaking talk today. Ben Cleveland, I like him, but we already drafted White Davis. Man, I really like Shaka Toney here. I know we just picked up Peyton Turner. But think about this. Carl Lawson's a free agent. We don't know if we're going to get him back. And 1 year from now, Sam Hubbard's a free agent. We don't know if we're going to re-sign him. You know, he was injured some this past season. Really affected his play. Aside from those 2 edge rushers, we really don't have anybody. And, you know, for instance, Carl Lawson, you know, he was a 3rd or 4th round pick. And he's been very successful for us. And, you know, Geno Atkins was a 4th round pick. I know he's a defensive tackle, but, I mean, he has a Hall of Fame resume for us. It seems to me like we really hit it off in the 4th and later rounds. You know, day 3 picks, I think we really hit it off. I know we picked Peyton Turner here, but Shaka Toney is one of the best players available. And I think he would be a real nice addition. Peyton Turner and Shaka Toney, if you re-sign Lawson, and, you know, it could possibly save us money next year instead of re-signing Hubbard, we have, you know, Toney and Turner. So I'm going to go Shaka Toney here. I know going back-to-back picks with edge may not be like the most popular idea, but to me, I really like it. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you all right now, if Jalen Darden is available, I'm picking him. Like, he is literally like one of my favorite players in the draft. My favorite players, some of them, Kadarius Toney, the wide receiver from Florida, Kyle Pitts, like we drafted in the 1st round. And yeah, let's see here. We have selected Kyle Pitts, the tight end. We've yet to take a wide receiver. Jalen Darden is our wide receiver. I'm telling you, he's going to be a steal in the draft. So we have two more picks here in the 7th round, 198 and 200. Obviously, these will go back because, compensatory picks have not been released yet. So it'll be interesting. I really like small school prospects, and it's really fun to watch some guys who are from a small school and have really a bright future, but are being, overlooked because they play at a small program. So we have some viewers in here now. So comment like somebody who you like in the later rounds. Comment, what do you think of this draft so far and everything? Some players you like, you would maybe want for us to get. I know lots of people like Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, the receiver from Alabama, which I don't think he's going to be available at number 5. Let's see here. I want to go back to see who we drafted. We have not took a tackle. That's something to keep an eye on. There was somebody I just saw who it was. I'm trying to look. Let's see here. The linebackers, like Ventrell Miller, the linebacker from Florida as well, but he just got picked 2 picks ahead of us. He's the top tackle available. His name actually is spelled wrong. It's Josh Ball, not Josh Bell. I'm going to take him. I know he's a top tackle, and I know we could probably get him with our other pick in just 2 spots, but he's a top tackle, so I'm going to go ahead and get him. Ball, he's freaking massive. He's like 6'5", 6'6", 300, 330 plus. He has a really potential nice future. Just the other day, he was invited to the the NFL Combine, and I'm going to be trying to get him, on here for an interview. If y'all don't know this, I'm a big Marshall fan, so I want to try to get him on here. It'd be really nice to have him on the show. And we've not took a running back. I know we don't need running back, but I think potentially cutting Giovanni Bernard is more realistic than people think. We would have Mixon, Pirine, and Trevion Williams. For the most part, 7th round picks don't make our team. But think about this for a second. 7th round picks, and like I said a couple months ago, 4th and later round picks, they seem really successful for us. TJ Houshmandzadeh, he's the top 3, top 5 receiver in our franchise history. Was a 7th round pick. He has the most receptions in the season in franchise history. Clayton Fejeldum, I believe he was a 6th or 7th round pick. Aloka was a 5th or 6th round pick. We hit on lots of these guys. Auden Tate was a 7th round pick. And I know that's not a team need to me. I like Javian. I think that's how you pronounce it. Hawkins from Louisville. I also like Master Teague if he can stay healthy. He was really good with the Buckeyes this year when he started. So let's see. To me, I don't know. I wouldn't mind a running back here, but there's a couple other receivers I also like as well. Jonathan Adams from Arkansas State, absolutely. I believe it was Kansas State. He absolutely lit them up. He had like 3 touchdowns against the Wildcats, and they upset them in the win. I'm gonna go with Jonathan Adams. Just really like him. I like his potential a lot. To me, I think we picked 2 really nice receivers in the later rounds, and that's a really potential. 2 of those guys could very well make the team. So we traded back 1 spot, and we selected Kyle Pitts, number 9, Wyatt Davis here with our 2nd round pick, Dylan Moses with our 3rd, Creed Humphrey with our 3rd, Peyton Turner with our 4th. It's not letting me scroll down here, but our next pick was Shaka Toney. Our next pick was Jalen Darden, the wide receiver from North Texas. After that was, I believe it was Josh Ball, the tackle from Marshall. And we just picked Jonathan Adams, the wide receiver from Arkansas State. So, yeah, that was our first one. Like I said, this is a 2-part type of episode. Instead of doing 1, we'll be doing 2. And I'm probably going to be doing these more often. So, different scenarios and stuff like that. So hopefully you all have enjoyed this first one so far. So as we go to the second one, are there any prospects you all like or anything like that you really like, want us to get in the first or second round? Anything like that? Comment below. So to start this one off, Trevor Lawrence went number 1. Jamar Chase went number 2 to the Jets, which is very surprising. Penei Sewell again here goes to number 3 to the Dolphins. Fields goes to 4 to the Falcons. So we have a trade offer. The Patriots first, I believe they're 5th, and their first round pick next year for our fifth pick. And our other trade offer is the 49ers, their first round pick next year, and a 7th round pick next year. To me, I wouldn't be against this if you knew the 49ers were going to suck next year. Like, if they had a top 10 pick next year and we knew it, like if it was the Lions and they offered us their 7th round pick, we would swap, and they gave us their first, I would totally take that. But the 49ers are a really nice team. They were just, lots of injuries this past season. And to me, I really think this is a scenario where the 49ers trade up and take Zach Wilson, the quarterback from BYU. The 49ers love Zach Wilson. John Lynch loves Wilson a ton. I think this is a possible option. The 49ers would trade maybe with one of these teams before 5, or maybe even with the Eagles to get ahead of the Lions here. But, I want to reject these trades. So we have Zach Wilson. And to me, Zach Wilson, I'm not saying he's better than Trevor Lawrence, but he is 100% my favorite quarterback in a draft. He reminds me a lot of Kyler Murray and a lot of Russell Wilson. I think he has a really nice future. I think he's pro-ready. He could be a really nice quarterback. So we got Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Kyle Pitts. I'm not going to be taking Pitts because we took Pitts in our last mock. I'm going to try to be different unless Jalen Darden's available. That might be my one exception. But, Devontae Smith here is available. I mean, he won the Heisman, had one of the best seasons ever for a receiver. Jalen Waddle, before Waddle got hurt, his stats were comparable to Devontae Smith. They're really about the same. And if Waddle did not get injured, to me, obviously Devontae Smith would have not won the Heisman. A lot of Devontae Smith winning the Heisman had a lot to do with Jalen Waddle being injured. It doesn't matter who you like between those two. Really like Pitts here. I mean, we took him in the first round. Our last mock, I'm not taking him. I'm going to take Devontae Smith here, number 5. Now, there's going to be a debate until, I believe it's April 29th, today until April 29th. Who do you like more, Chase or, Devontae Smith or the schools available? I mean, there's so many possibilities that what's going to happen in the mock this year, in the draft, excuse me. This trade sucks, so obviously we're not going to do it. Reject. I really like White Davis here. I picked him in the last round. Trey Smith, the guard from Tennessee. Trey Smith reminds me exactly of Maurice Hurst, the defensive tackle from Michigan several years ago. And I wanted Hurst really bad, but we opted to take freaking Mark Walton, the running back of Miami, Florida. He's been arrested multiple times with us. He's been cut a year or so ago. And we took, a couple of years actually. We took Walton over Hurst. Hurst would have been a first-round pick if he did not have heart issues. He was very, very talented, but his issues, it was a issue bigger than an injury. Like it was very, life-threatening, and maybe that's why he dropped so much. It's a very serious issue. And with Trey Smith here, if it wasn't for his, he's had blood clots. I believe it was in October 2018. He had some very serious issues going on with him, like health-wise. But if it wasn't for that, to me, Trey Smith, I think would be a first-round pick. But I like Trey Smith possibly in the second if we traded back. But the only reason Trey Smith is going to last as long as he did is because his blood clots. But I'm a really big fan of him. We got some edge rushers here like Ronnie Perkins, Jason Owa. But listen, I don't know if I said that wrong. Carlos Basham from Wake Forest. Patrick Jones, I really like him too. There's not really a great defensive tackle available. I like Barmore from Alabama, but I really doubt he'll be there. Corners, I like Eric Stokes, but I prefer Asante Samuel Jr. To me, I want to go. Let's see here. I want to go corner, Asante Samuel Jr. Here's why. I believe it was Ben Baby just said the other day. Might even have been today. I honestly have not been keeping up with stuff the past couple of days. I've been really busy, but he kind of reported that he would be kind of surprised if Mackenzie Alexander would be on the Bengals roster next year, which kind of sucks because I really hope we re-sign Mackenzie Alexander. He was really, really good this year for us. And another thing, William Jackson's a free agent, and I know pretty much. Everybody knows that. What if we don't re-sign him? I think if we don't sign William Jackson, this completely shifts our draft process. For example, in the first round here, Penei Sewell was not available, and Jamar Chase was already gone. Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, and Kyle Pitts were available. And if we had a trade offer, we had that trade offer from the 49ers for a first-round pick. If we don't sign William Jackson, I think there's a possibility we accept that, and we take Farley or Surtain from Alabama. Especially, Jackson, you just don't know. I think he's going to want a lot of money, I think. And another thing, so Mackenzie Alexander's a free agent, Jackson's a free agent, and 1 year from now, Darius Phillips is a free agent. And then we have Trey Waynes, and that is a freaking horrible contract we are currently having him with right now. And I don't think Waynes is worth his contract at all. To me, we overpaid a Dre Kirkpatrick. To me, that's exactly what we did. But, I think corner is a much bigger need than people think. But it's going to be really interesting to see. If we don't re-sign William Jackson, it completely shifts our draft process, in my opinion. So that's why I kind of took Asante Samuel Jr. with our second round pick, because maybe we tag Jackson or something, and we're in this nearly identical situation next year. So Samuel there with our second round pick. Kind of sorry for talking on that pick so long. Could be talking about the third round. Trey Smith here. That's probably who I want to be taking. Just go ahead and saying that before even looking at any other players. This is going to sound really, I don't know, not crazy, but I think it needs some consideration. If Kyle Trask is in the third round or drops in the fourth, now this is not going to happen. Let's just be clear. I've had multiple mock draft scenarios where Kyle Trask is in the third round, and I've took him because I know we don't need a quarterback, but you win with quarterbacks. Kyle Trask will be absolutely best player available if he's in the third round. And I know we don't need a quarterback, but what if we go in a similar situation where Burrow gets hurt and we're contending for the playoffs, and we have Ryan freaking Finley? To me, I think Trask will be a nice piece. It's really difficult to find a quarterback on a rookie deal who's good. As a backup, you look at a Garoppolo, he was traded and everything. He only had a couple starts, but he was good. Got picks to the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, to me, I'm not probably going to take Trask here. I'm just saying I think it needs more consideration. But yeah, it'd be really interesting. You can't. It's really hard to find a good young quarterback, especially in a rookie deal. Literally being a rookie on a rookie contract who has potential like Trask. To me, he kind of reminds me of Derek Carr a little bit. Well, not bad, about average, but we'll see. This probably isn't going to happen though. I want to kind of go back to that. This is very unlikely because some of these scenarios, I don't understand why some players drop. For instance, I want to be doing a mock draft of every NFL team soon. Just kind of doing some different teams, kind of seeing what team needs are and everything. Or I did one with the Steelers the other day, And, they kind of pick in the mid-20s, and Devontae Smith dropped there, and I really don't know how. And I really don't understand how some of these players drop. For instance, Trey Smith, just the other day I did one. He was there in the 4th round, and he shouldn't even be here in the start of the 3rd round. I'm going to take Smith here, like I mentioned. If it wasn't for blood clots in 2018, he would 100% be a 1st-round pick. That's the best player available. I mean, if he can stay healthy, that's a fantastic pick. Not going to do this one. Going 4 picks back. 203, I don't want an extra 7th. Let's see here. Rashawn Weaver. Who did we've not took an edge. Andre, I believe Cisco, really like him from Syracuse, one of the best safeties in the draft. Tutu Atwell, another receiver as well. Let's see here. Nico Collins, Marquez Stevenson, Hope, and Marvin Wilson. Ooh, I really like Marvin Wilson. In the 4th round, we're going to cut Geno Atkins and cut or trade him, one of the two. We have no defensive tackles. We do We have DJ Reader. Aside from DJ Reader, who do we have? Absolutely nobody. Coming off a season-ending injury. I mean, we're having a defensive tackle situation where Xavier Williams had more sacks, as many sacks as Geno Atkins had tackles in the season. And I know Geno Atkins was hurt, and for pretty much the whole season. But Xavier Williams is a free agent. Marcus Hunt's a free agent. We need somebody, and we're getting rid of Geno Atkins. I really like Marvin Wilson here, and I want to go ahead and take him. Like I said, going into kind of like the last mock, just a couple months ago, Geno Atkins was a 4th-round pick. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get. I mean, we tend to hit it off in the day 3 picks. I'm really hoping one of the edge rushers. Tony Fields, I like him. Who did we put? Oh yeah, we put Dylan Moses in the 3rd round last mock draft. Tony Fields, really would not mind him. I believe he was one of the best Big 12 defensive players this past season. Sage Surratt from Wake Forest, the wide receiver. Ben Cleveland, I also like him, but since we took Trey Smith, obviously I'm not going to take him. So far, we're in the 5th round currently. Devontae Smith, Asante Samuel, Trey Smith, Marvin Wilson. To me, it's A+. And I'm not trying to be biased because, that's my mock. But, I mean, Trey Smith should be in this range between 5 and 38 if it wasn't with blood clots. That's 3 top 40 players-ish, around that. Marvin Wilson, I mean, he's one of my favorite defensive tackles. So, let's see here. I'm going to try not to take Jalen Darden with my pick. That's my goal. Crap. I didn't even realize Marquez Stevenson was picked right before me. Crap. Let's see here. So, we've went corner and defensive tackle, and then guard and wide receiver. We're going to need a tackle, I really like Phillips in West Virginia, and I hate West Virginia, honestly. And when it comes to college football, West Virginia is like the Steelers to me when it comes to the NFL. Really don't like them. I mean, Tony Fields, you have Jermaine Pratt, Logan Wilson, Akeem Davis-Gaither, Marcus Bailey, and Tony Fields, all on rookie contracts. Imagine 2 of those guys hit it off and be the next Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith. That would be freaking amazing. And I know it's not a team need, but he's one of the best players available. I'm going to go ahead and take Tony Fields here, the linebacker from West Virginia. Big fan of him. One of the top, I would say one of the top mid-round linebackers. I know it sounds kind of stupid, but kind of a sleeper scenario. Ventrell Miller, I also like him a lot too. Trill Williams here, the corner from Syracuse. Somebody I know had an interview with him recently, and I might try to get him on the show soon. Those of you who are watching, make sure to like this video. I mean, if you don't like the video, it's fine, but make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing so many mocks, like up until the next a couple months till the draft. Like, we'll be doing two mocks each Sunday until the draft. I'm going to be doing, once I'm kind of going back and forth. What do they do? Every NFL team after the draft or after compensatory picks are released. I'm not really sure yet. And all these videos I've been doing recently are live. So, you got to tune in and everything, see what's going on and all that stuff. So lots of mocks coming out soon. And also, after the draft, when we're doing some player interviews, last year I did a decent amount, 7 or 8, something like that, on the other podcast. The Houda Nation podcast. I did that with Blake for a while. We got to interview some cool people like, Doug Costin, the defensive tackle for the Jaguars. Kyle Duggar, the safety from the Patriots. Darrington Evans, the running back from the Titans. Alex Highsmith from the Steelers. Josiah DeGuara from the Packers. James Morgan from the Jets. I know I'm rambling off here, but just I'm going to take Jalen Darden. I know I said I was going to try not to take a receiver or a player in general, unless it was Darden. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm telling you all, I really, really like Jalen Darden here. He's my top 5 favorite players in the draft. But like I said, lots of player interviews coming up after the draft. Content, all that stuff. It's going to be great. Like, y'all got to make sure to subscribe. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be cool. I know I did not really describe that pick, but I have described it. The last pick, Jalen Darden, is the next Tyreek Hill, in my opinion. So that's why I went with him. I think his potential is unlimited. Jalen Darden, to me, is a small school later round Kadarius Toney. So basically, in a sense, Toney to me is somebody I really like in the second round, but Toney's everything the Bengals wish they had in John Ross. Obviously John Ross was a bust. I think we can all agree on that now. But, I don't think there's much difference between Darden and Kadarius Toney in production and skill. But I really like Darden. Let's see here. I'm just kind of going off topic. Some wide receivers. I know we just took Darden and Devontae Smith. I'm not going to be taking another receiver. I'm not going to lie. I'm not that into tight ends. I'm not really scouted that much. I do like Brevin Jordan as a possible third-round target. I think that's an underrated, potential pick if we aren't sold on Drew Sample. Robert Rochelle. I know we took Asante Samuel Jr. with our second-round pick. I'm going to take Rochelle. No. Did I take him or not? I can't remember. In the last round. In the last mock. I'm going to take him anyway. I don't think I did in the last mock. I should have wrote that down. But, Robert Rochelle here, I really like him. Like I said, small school prospect. I love small school prospects. They're really, fun to look into, watch their film. And you read, hey, Robert Rochelle would have played at Alabama, he could potentially be a second-round pick. It's really not fair to small school prospects, in my opinion. They deserve more credit. What a quarterback here. I don't think he'll last this long, but Allen's a free agent. Tank Commander Ryan Finley, he's done so much for us. He sucks so bad he got his Burrow. He somehow beat the Steelers in Monday Night Football. Obviously, we have Burrow. Hopefully, he'll be back week 1. I would like for us to sign a veteran quarterback, somebody like a Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't necessarily believe we will sign Fitzpatrick, but somebody like him. I would really like it for us to, connect with AJ McCarron again. I would not mind that at all. But to me, I really think a backup quarterback is a must need. So I'm going to take, Ian Book here. I think Book, he's kind of a project. He has a decent amount of potential. I think he has potentially a really nice future as a career backup player. His stats don't wow you, but if you watch the tape, he does for the most part everything all right. So I'm going to take Ian Book here in the 7th round. So yeah, once again, I don't know why this is doing that, not letting me go down, but Devontae Smith in the 1st, Asante Samuel Jr., the cornerback from Florida State in the 2nd, Trey Smith, the guard from Tennessee in the 3rd, Marvin Wilson, the defensive tackle from Florida State in the 4th, Tony Fields, the linebacker of West Virginia in the 5th, Jalen Darden, the wide receiver from North Texas, in the 6th round. And in the 7th round, we took Central Arkansas cornerback Robert Rochelle. And with our last pick, we took a Notre Dame quarterback, Ian Book. I really hope you all enjoyed this mock. I actually did 2 mocks today. I'm hoping to do 2 mocks for now on each Sunday when I do these mocks. So I'm really hoping, you all enjoyed this episode. You all could like this video and subscribe to the channel. I would really, really appreciate it. Once again, thank you all so much for listening, and I will see you next time on the Sports 200.